Hi everyone and welcome back. So today is day 9. As you can tell, it's quite dark outside, and today's been quite a long day. I'm sure that for some people we've got long days of doing stuff or long days of not doing that much as well. And it's important that in these times we're really finding what we need and giving ourselves our self-care, which is the theme of today. It's just being gentle and kind to ourselves and accepting in that moment. And I think it's one of those things I really want to mention, that I tend to do the yoga in the morning as the sun's coming out. But sometimes schedules change. Sometimes we've got a massive burst of energy in the morning and we lose it in the evening, or it may be the other way around. And our emotions are temporary things. They change every single moment. So don't be so harsh on yourself if you go, right, it's time to do my yoga and I'm not feeling it, because that's okay. Either through the practice it will come, or just trust that you're going to be drawn to it. And whenever you think, it's time to do yoga, your body is innately telling you what to do. So this is our yoga space right now. Thank yourself for being here. And we're going to start by coming to the mat. But this time a little bit different. We're going to start by lying down in our Savasana. So my palms are facing up. My hands are moving their way down towards my feet, so that my shoulders are relaxed and moving away from my ears without feeling tight or tense. My chin is slightly tucked into my neck, so I've got that nice length again. My feet and my legs are allowed to flop out wherever feels natural. I'm not flexing or pointing my toes, they're just relaxed, and I might have a little wiggle just to notice where I am comfortably. Just notice your natural breath here for a minute. Notice how it moves your body. Notice what area you're breathing from, whether this is your lower belly, your lungs, or your throat. Not giving any judgment, but trusting this is where your body is right now. And on your next exhale, you're going to bring both your knees towards your chest and allow yourself to hug into them. And keeping that hug, you're going to gently rock from side to side, starting to warm up that spine and feel contact with the ground beneath us. Keep that rocking side to side, and maybe introduce a slight circle, so you may need to loosen your grip slightly to allow your legs to move closer and further away from your chest. Practice this the other way around. Noticing what areas are coming in contact with the air, going as slow or as fast as we're feeling. Naturally come to a standstill, coming back into that hugging in position. We're going to release the hug from our right leg, allow the right foot to touch the floor and come back up again. Then releasing the left leg, allowing the left leg to touch the floor and coming back up again. And we're going to continue this pattern. My hands are staying in place so I know where I'm coming back to naturally. And I'm imagining that I don't have knees. So what I mean by this is that my legs are fixed. I'm not moving from my knee to lift up and down, but it's coming from my hip and my core. It's lowering the leg and lifting the leg. Really feel that core. Really feel the engagement, keeping it pushing in towards our spine, keeping it engaged. And imagine this core as a circle, and draw a circle on your body right now with a fingertip of where your core is. And feel as it engages as you move your legs up and down, toe tapping on the floor. Notice your natural breath, and if you're moving in time to your breath, with an inhale and movement down, and an exhale moving up, or vice versa. You're going to do 2 more on each side. And then when you're done, coming back to hugging those legs again. Bringing back that gentle rock until you feel yourself rocking to the left-hand side, keeping the knees where they are. My arms are coming into a W shape. So my arms are staying shoulder length out, but I'm bending at the elbows to create that right angle. Stay looking up at the ceiling for now and work at bringing that shoulder down to touch the floor, not giving any judgment of where it is right now. You want to increase the stretch, gently look away from the direction of the legs. So if your legs are to the left-hand side, you're going to look to the right. And then exhale, we're going to bring those legs back up again and allow them to gently fall to the right-hand side. We're keeping our knees touching, our toes touching as much as possible, noting if there is any gap and knowing that is completely okay. My gaze is looking directly up above me. And I'm noticing my natural breath. Finding the length in the inhale and the body relaxing on the exhale. And if I want to increase this at all, I can look to the left-hand side. And your next exhale, you're going to bring your knees back to your chest and hug them again. Notice the connectedness that you have to yourself right now, your hands holding each other, holding your arms, holding your legs. From this position, you're going to keep it as much as you can, rolling to one side, wherever feels natural, allowing the hands to come out and maybe rolling off of the mat. You're going to roll forward into a child's pose. Allowing the head to rest on the floor beneath us. The arms and the fingers to really be reaching out now. Feeling the contrast between touching and holding ourselves and touching and holding the outside world. Think of the sensations. Try and make these as similar as you can. And then exhale, you're going to allow yourself to roll back towards your mat. And when you can, wrapping your hands again, bringing the knees towards the chest. And start to rock forward and backwards. If this is just with your legs, that's completely okay. So to engage this, we're going to start by tucking slightly further back. Feeling the engagement in the core. This may allow us to lead forward. Each time increase them. You may notice we're coming up towards that boat pose. If you can rest here, so with the knees bent or straightened. If not, you can keep rocking where you are right now. Working to get higher and higher. And if you are in that boat pose, look at the difference between when you're not holding and when you're holding, keeping the length in the back. Even if this is removing one hand or the other. So play with that actually. Hold on. And if you are on the ground, make your way up to sitting, as we're all going to come into this boat pose, lifting the knees up and holding onto the legs. We're finding balance and length. Our toes are actively pointing now. The tops of our head are reaching up. And if we can, we're releasing that right hand, coming together. Left hand, coming together. Timing this with our own breath. We inhale and exhale. If you are more comfortable holding behind you, that's completely okay. Work at inhaling and exhaling if you can. And if not, no, that's completely okay. So we're keeping that connectedness for this balance. We're keeping this pull of our hands on our legs, our back against the floor, feeling the length of the toes and the head. So breathing in and out, releasing the right and left hand. And if you can, now's the time to challenge yourself, releasing both the hands, feeling the active engagement and the contrast between having touch and non-touch. And if you are holding and releasing, feel the difference between the right and left hand as one is touching and one is not. Knowing again, every day is different. And do 2 more breaths. And on your final exhale, you can allow the feet to plant but the knees stay bended. Wiggle them out to hip width apart and allow your head to relax between your knees. Notice your natural breath and allow your body to relax. With the next exhale, you're going to roll the body up, bringing the head up last. You're going to bring your left hand to the outer of your right leg. Bring that right arm out, shoulder width apart, like we did in our swings. But this time again, we've got that contrast. We've got the right hand that's reaching out to the world and the left hand that's touching onto ourselves. Keeping the shoulders down. Looking straight to 3 o'clock, feeling actively engaged, connected to ourselves and to others. Staying with your natural breath and noticing the gentle twist of the spine. I mean, it's okay if you're not all the way back, but just come into wherever feels comfortable for you. Keeping those knees facing up towards the ceiling, so we're not allowing them to touch or roll out. We're keeping them planted and grounded where they are. Next exhale, we're going to bring that arm forward. The right arm's coming to the outer of the left leg. We're opening up again. My fingers are actively engaged. They're not curling. I'm coming out into the star position. I'm keeping the length up in my neck. Feeling that energy coming out from the top of my head, out of my tailbone. My feet are grounded on the floor and I can move them forward or back so I can feel that connection. My shoulders are lowered. And I'm staying with my natural breath. Next exhale, we're going to bring the arms forward. We're going to bring the hands in front of us, lifted up to where they are, so they're facing directly in front. The next exhale, the arms are coming up. So we've got our elbows in line with our ears and our palms are facing forward. Stay with your breath here, work at bringing those shoulders down. So just because the arms are up doesn't mean our whole arm is up. My arms are up, but my shoulders are down. I'm going to lower the left hand, but keeping the right hand there. Then in your next breath, you're going to raise the left hand, but lower the right. And do this alternating rhythm with your own breath. Feeling the length that happens in the side of the back. Noticing if this is the same for both sides of the back, or if it varies. And where our drishti is, our gaze, allow our hands to cross paths there. So if I'm looking directly in front, the point where my 2 hands meet is in line with where my gaze is. And this will really help me keep this even balance, the up and the down. And do allow a slight pause as the arms meet to bring conscious awareness to this. Become aware of the touch that one hand is having to your body and the other is to the space. Noticing if we're engaging our fingers more when we're touching ourselves or others. We're going to do 2 more of these on each side. And then when we're done, we're going to rest our head in between our knees again. With a nice exhale. Allow the body to really relax here. The hands to rest on the top of the feet. Feel the grounding that happens from our fingers and our toes. Your next exhale, you're going to roll up, allowing the head to finish last. Bring that body down so you're lying on the mat. My feet are planted and my knees are pointed up to the ceiling. Again, I'm hip width apart. So you can check this by making sure that you've got a fist and it fits directly between the knees. My hands are coming to either side, palms facing down, fingers spread, feeling the earth beneath me. I'm feeling the length from the top of my head, the groundedness of my feet and my hands. And with an exhale, I'm going to push into my hands and my feet and allow my body to lift into a half bridge. And on an exhale, I'm going to come back down again. And as we're doing this, we're becoming aware of our spine. And as we're coming up, we're leading from our tailbone to bring the top up. And on an exhale, we're leaning from the top of our neck all the way down. So do take your time with this. With an exhale, tuck in that tailbone up and allow the rest of your spine to follow suit, kind of like a domino effect. With an exhale, you're coming from the top of your spine. Really feel each vertebrae. When you get to the end, feel the finish of your tailbone, allowing it to rest naturally again. So we're not lifting up or lifting down. And to check this, you want to make sure that the back of your head feels flat against the floor. Let's do those a few times with our own breath. If you're really wanting to challenge yourself, when you get to the top, squeeze onto your buttocks. It's important to keep your knees and your legs where they are while you're doing this. And if you need, you can place a cushion or a water bottle in between and really feel that active engagement pushing against that space. And do 2 more of these. Remembering to release the tailbone at the end. So when you're there, allow your body to adjust, make sure that you're comfortable. You're going to release that right leg and you're going to put the outer ankle and the outside of the left foot just below the knee. And allow that right knee to move out wherever feels comfortable for you. We're not pushing or forcing anything. We're just going to relax here for a few breaths. Releasing any tension that we may have in the hips or the knees. And allow the body to relax, trust in this position. We're noticing the stillness of the upper body, the weighted, grounded calmness that it brings. And with an exhale, you're going to bring that right foot to the floor, keeping contact with the leg. Just move out slightly. So wherever feels comfortable, keeping our hands down to ground us if we need. And the aim is to get that foot on the floor and the left knee on the floor. But we're going to keep that knee pointed as high up to the ceiling as we can. And our chest, our body is still facing the ceiling. And for this, it's all about the journey. Half of the stretch is in the journey instead of the final position. So know that if you're not fully down and you're here, you are stretching a different area and you're stretching what your body needs. So if you are all the way down, make a conscious effort now as we exhale to stop halfway and really feel and engage in that stretch as well. For everybody taking their time, come up and down. We're going to do 2 more of those in our own breath, in our own time. Exhaling as we're coming down, nice and slowly, allowing the body to adjust. find some comfort, but not pushing ourselves too far. Knowing again, every day is completely different. Really engage in the journey of your leg as it comes down. Noticing what areas you can feel the stretch, and if there's any tension. And when you've done your 3, you're going to plant that right foot down, release the leg, cross it over the top again, allowing that left knee to fall out wherever feels natural, and staying here for a few breaths. Notice how that right leg is feeling. Notice if you've got any predetermined ideas about this journey. As we exhale, bringing that left foot down towards the floor, taking our time, finding that control, using our hands or our elbows on the floor to help find that balance. Keeping that knee pointing to the ceiling, as well as our chest and our gaze. And again, on our way back up, taking our time, coming as slowly as is possible for us. And becoming aware of the journey, what is affected in our body. And do that 2 more times in our own time, in our own breath. We focus on nothing else but the journey of our foot to the floor. Knowing again it's completely okay if we're not on the floor right now, and that we're stretching what our body needs. We're taking our time on this journey. We're giving ourselves time, care, and attention. Feel the engagement every part of your body has on the floor, especially places like your hands and your head and your shoulders that are not moving from the earth. When you've done your 3, relax in Savasana quickly. So again, allowing our feet and our knees to flop out, palms to face the ceiling, chin to be slightly tucked in to allow the length in the neck. Releasing any tension that we may have without giving any judgment. Notice how your body is feeling. Now I'm going to lift both your hands above your shoulders, reaching up towards the ceiling. You're going to imagine someone's pulling on that right hand and it's lifting you up so your right shoulder is no longer on the floor. You're letting it back down again. Same as the other way, you imagine someone's lifting, coming back down again. But in this whole journey that we're doing with our own breath and our own time, feeling the groundedness of the heels and the legs on the floor. The head isn't rising, but it may twist slightly. But we're allowing any altercations, any things that change in our body to happen naturally. We're being as aware, pulling ourselves up, as we are allowing ourselves down. We're supporting ourselves in this whole journey, whilst imagining the support from others as well. So being lifted up and placed down. And do 2 more on each side in your own time, your own breath. Keeping those fingers engaged. And then exhale, you're going to find your way back up again. So you're in the floor, you're in your sitting position. We're going to come back to that cross-legged again. So I'm bringing my left leg towards me, my right foot is in front, my heels are in line as if they're a straight line moving forward. And I'm feeling the length coming out the top of my head, the spine, And if I'm needing, I'm sitting on a cushion to help level me up a bit. And again, we're going to have our fingers out as if they're paws, this animalistic idea. We'll allow our paws to walk ourselves forward, keeping our sight in between our hands. Same with your natural breath here. I'm going to be here for 3 breaths. And when you finish your 3rd breath, you can walk your way back. And we're going to do that 2 more times in your own time, in your own breath. In that that gaze in the fixed point between your hands. Staying there for 3 breaths and allowing yourself to walk back. And each time you walk back, take a moment to notice the space that you're in. Find that length in the spine again, but keep your gaze, your drishti, at where your hands were. So you're not losing sight of your fixed point. And when you've done one side, you're going to swap position. So you're going to allow your right leg closest to you, your left foot in front, heels in line, finding that length before you start. Imagining that gaze, but knowing it's okay if we do not have our destination yet. Allowing yourselves to walk forward and focus between your hands. Staying here for 3 breaths in your own time. And on the 3rd exhale of your breath, coming back up. And when you come back up, taking a minute to keep that focus, but find the length in the spine, the groundedness to the earth, before you go again. Knowing it's okay if your gaze varies slightly, not forming any judgment, but allowing yourself to refix that point. And we're going to take the time to have the contrast between being lifted and reaching forward. When you finish with that, you're going to bring both the palms of your feet together, finding the center line of your body, bringing them as close as comfortable for you, but making sure that we can still maintain that length, that engagement, that we're not bringing so far forward and tucking in our body, but that we're still finding length and we can do it without holding on. Again, if you do notice there's a slight curve or you're not feeling as engaged on your sit bones, sitting on a cushion, something I've done 1,000,001 times, and actually it's a lot more peaceful and restful. And as this class is all about self-care and self-love, do give yourself permission to give your body what it needs. So it is really important you're not grabbing onto your toes, but I'm resting my thumbs in between the gaps that my feet make as they come together, and my fingers are just resting on the outside. Taking a few breaths, feeling the length of the spine, closing my eyes if I need. And on exhale, I'm going to bring that right arm coming around the body like we did before. And if we can, reach onto that inner thigh. Knowing it's okay if we can't. It's just where our body is today. We're keeping that length in the spine as we're moving our head in adjustment to the twist of our body. Staying here for 3 breaths. And on your 3rd exhale, coming back to the center position. Taking a breath to reground, and on that exhale, twisting around again, the left hand coming behind the body. Staying here for 3 breaths, still finding that length, releasing any tension through that breath. 3rd breath, we're coming back to the center point. Taking a breath to reground, we're going to do that 2 more times on each side. We're keeping our shoulders actively engaged. They're pulling down. So we're not lifting them up to our ears. We're allowing our heart to open. We're allowing the goodness to come in. So finding that length. And notice if you're collecting any tension at all in your hips. Sometimes when we're focused on the upper body, we may forget about our lower body. And this can happen in our life too. Sometimes we focus so much on others or one aspect of our life that we forget about the others. And it's good to not multitask. It's good to stay where you need. But every now and then, just check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Take a moment if you are noticing any tension, just to sit with it. Close your eyes and breathe into it, allowing it to release before you continue the pattern that you were doing. This isn't diverting your course or diverting your path. It's just taking care of yourself. When you've come to the end here, we're going to end by planting both our feet down again, hip width apart, allowing our body to relax forward into that gap. If you wish, you can hold onto your legs from behind, from above. Give yourself a hug, give yourself whatever you need right now. As we stay here for 5 breaths. Really allow yourself to breathe as deeply as you can, without any judgment, and doing whatever feels comfortable for you right now. This can be through the nose or through the mouth. And allowing yourself to relax deeper and deeper into this position. And on your 5th exhale, allow your body to roll up with the head being last. Bringing yourself back into the room. Do sit with yourself for a moment if you need, journal or draw, whatever kind of comes up for you. But really cement this idea of self-care for yourself and what that means. If that's an image, if that's a drawing that you want to do, put it down. And in our tapping video that I'll attach the link to below, I spoke at the end of the tapping session, which can be so good for a variety of things. I really do recommend you listening to it. To draw a shape or think of a colour or cement something to remind yourself of this sensation that you have. Any positive sensation that you are getting, maybe it comes after yoga, maybe it comes after a meditation or whatever it is for you,